It's Monday. It's the morning.
And it's a macabre. Macabre.
It's Macabre.
It's Macedonians on Mondays, baby. The show where we talk all about ancient Macedonia.
Now let's get first into the Fertile Crescent.
Listen, my crescent's been fertile since high school.
Hey.
And hey, shout out to my body. This is
your daughter?
Wild start. Shout out to my daughter. I don't know if I want to shout out to my daughter after that.
She'll never hear this.
What a start.
The internet will be a wasteland by the time she picks up podcasts.
Yeah. It'll be a post-apocalyptic hellscape of just like Logan Paul videos and like React.
I'll sign up to fight in like the Federation armies just to afford water.
Like, do you have 100,000 views on any of your videos? No water for you. Welcome to Monday Morning Macabre.
As you can tell, we talk about scary stuff.
Yeah, as you can tell, you're probably spooked right now. You're probably freaked out.
Color me spooked.
This is the show where we talk about spooky, scary things. I'm Darcy.
I'm Scones.
And together, we make Monday Morning Macabre.
Although, what did we say we were going to change our names to? I was going to be Johnny Kahula.
You were going to be Johnny Kahula, and I was going to be Chili Dog Johnson?
Yes. All right, so...
I think it's Chili Dog Johnson.
Write in if you want us to... Or DM us if there's a big enough...
Season 2, we might...
If there's a big enough movement, I will genuinely go by Johnny Kahula.
Kahula.
And you have to go by Chili Dog Johnson for the entire rest of the... Until they decide new names.
The only real rival to The Rock is Chili Dog Johnson.
That's how loyal we are to our listeners.
I'm his evil twin brother. Honestly, The Rock could look like a chili dog if you were to like change his like skin tone. Like if he had like covered in relish and he was a little pink doggy. He's got that shape. His head is shaped like a hot dog. This is what you're listening.
You definitely, if
for.
you don't have hair, you're definitely much more likely to look like a hot dog.
You're
regardless of what you look like. If you don't have hair, you're basically a hot dog. Jeff Bezos is like the richest hot dog on the planet.
Dude, he's got that golden buns. This is a show where one of us brings a spooky and scary story for the other one. And as you can see, there's a lot of on-topic discussion, and we keep it extra scary. We get silly. And
guys.
Music. No, we get silly. Guys, we get silly.
Hey.
This is like the 53rd episode. If you're listening from the beginning, you know we get silly.
You don't need to listen to any of them. Start at the first one, go straight to 51 because it pops off, and then come here.
Yeah, 51's a big one, and then so I guess it's the 52nd one, huh? Anywho, that makes 1 year of episodes if you go by week.
Yeah.
Even though we released 3 at the first week, so it technically doesn't count in that way, but you know, I think everyone knows what I mean.
Yeah, if you're new to Monday Morning Macabre, our first episode aired Samhain of 2019.
Of 2019.
All Hallows Eve.
Little Okitobi.
The last day of Okitobi.
Last day of Okitobi. Okie dokie Okitobi, as we always say at the end of each show. Today, I'm going to be bringing Scones a little spooky.
So I sat down at the restaurant. I have my napkin in my lap. I ordered a spooky story or subject.
Yeah, you ordered one medium spooky story burger.
I got the bread.
It's like a Bertucci's. We bring out fresh baked spooky bread, some creepy rolls. Would you rather a creepy roll or some spooky bread?
I think I'm more of if they're Bertucci's spooky rolls, I'm all in. Wait, what did you say? Are they scary rolls?
Wow.
What's the roll type?
Creepy rolls or spooky bread?
Creepy roll sounds like a really like cool festive sushi.
Yeah, a creepy roll.
California roll. You can get a creepy roll.
You can get a creepy roll, but it's going to cost you like $58. And it's just going to be like, we took some ham we found in the dumpster and wrapped it in seaweed.
I'd still order.
Like,
would still order.
Is creepy.
If it was in October, I'd still order it.
Listen, you're not wrong. And
I'm trying this pumpkin whiskey right now, and it's hurting me. It's hurting my insides.
You getting hurt by that pumpkin whiskey? I got some water.
Yeah.
I had to take a little break ski today. It's been a little too crazy. Real quick before we start, shout out to the Patreon listeners.
I thought you were going to say to the guys who served us that rolled Thai ice cream. That was good.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Hold up. I realize this episode has like the most fluff we've ever had so far.
By far.
It's which is honestly, I think that shows that's commendable on our part.
We still have stuff to talk about.
We have to bring this up because me and Scones were walking through a mall today, and we came across some Thai rolled ice cream where they like throw like the egg yolk ice cream onto the frozen plate thing, and they chop it up like they do at Cold Stone.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And it was super good. And then we had an adult man, probably in his 50s, with his probably 9-year-old son, 10-year-old son walk by us in the mall, and he's with his son just going, "Everybody walks so fucking slow around here.
Drives me fucking nuts."
Yeah, he's like, "Drives me fucking nuts." And we're both like, what happens when this kid brings home a C in math?
Yeah, what happens when that kid loses his baseball game?
This dad was insane.
So thoughts and prayers.
We were taken aback. So fuck that guy. And now let's get to the spooky part of the show.
Why you came here. Why I came to this metaphorical spooky restaurant.
Because, Scones, today we are going to be talking about Aokigahara, the suicide forest. Now, Scones, listen, buddy. Listen here, buddy.
God, I love our band so much.
Yeah, they just knock it out of the park. I hope you guys like the special 51st episode music, the other episode.
Dude, they put in work and it's all for the kids.
All for the kids. Now,
some of these guys forgot what work is.
We got a lot of people reacting to when we talked about spooky Japan. All right, so Aokigahara, we're in Japan again, because people seem to love spooky Japan.
All you crazy macabre people. We don't have like a name for our fans, but all you crazy macabre people out there, you guys love Japan.
You guys love Japan. All the listeners out there love
you
spooky
love Japan. I love Godzilla.
Japan. Why don't you ask him out?
I'm a big fan of Godzilla. I grew up in a Godzilla-friendly household.
We were very pro Godzilla when he did not win the election back in '98. But we got a lot of comments saying, "Hey, I noticed in your Spooky Japan episode you didn't talk about Aokigahara, the spooky suicide forest." And I was like, "Bruh, you don't think I know that?"
I don't know much except that there was a movie with Natalie Dormer. I think it's Natalie Dormer.
Yes, it is Natalie Dormer, and I watched that last week, which was the impetus to me choosing it for this week, because I said, you know what, people wanted to talk about it. Let's just. Why are we dancing around the issue?
Natalie Dormer.
Let's just talk about.
Give us a call.
Natalie Dormer. Give us a call. Let's talk about your movie. But Aokigahara, Scones. Let's get right into it. Mount Fuji. A beautiful mountain.
It's beautiful.
A fun name. Maybe
fun.
My favorite fun named mountain.
I like Kilimanjaro. That's a fun name.
I knew you'd say that, you son of a.
Am I basic for liking Kilimanjaro?
Yeah, you're dude. That is the pumpkin spice of mountains.
I figure Everest would be, but
oh, I guess you're right. You're right on that one. All right, it's the Jeep Wrangler of mountains. Still basic.
I'll take it.
I don't know. Fuji though, base of Mount Fuji, Scones. In 864 CE, there was a major eruption from Mount Fuji. Okay,
Mount Fuji is volcanic,
and yeah, baby,
did not know that.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Wait, what year?
And 864.
Oh, that's fucking like
long
yesterday, dude. Hasn't been 864 in a fucking minute, dude.
It's been so long since the last time it was 864. So it erupts and it makes this like lava forest on the northwestern flank.
That's the coolest. And two words together. Super cool.
Yeah. So all the lava hardens, and it makes a 30 square kilometer or 12 square mile forest of just hardened lava. And over time, nature takes its course and starts to build upon this beautiful lava forest.
Build upon it.
And so now we have this massive forest with thickly settled, dense trees in Japan.
Life finds a way.
It finds a way. It just finds a way.
Finds a way.
Now, right off the bat, this is the perfect conditions to make a horrifying forest.
Ooh,
it turns out.
Tell me why.
Because, Scones, when you have a forest made of lava, the hardened lava has tiny holes in it, right? And what that does is that absorbs sound, okay? So when you are in this forest...
I swear to God, if you tell me there's murder wind being absorbed...
No, not the murder wind.
If you're a new listener, like, you need to go back and listen, because murder wind is the scariest fucking thing, and it keeps coming up in my life.
Murder wind is like the constant arch enemy in like the cartoon show of Monday Morning Macabre.
It's horrifying. It's like the end game lich in Dungeons and Dragons, like the end bad guy, like
the big bad.
And yeah, cartoons just prepare me for quicksand when really I should have been focusing on murder wind.
Murder wind. So it absorbs all this sound, which means when you're like walking through and you're breathing, it sounds like a yell, like it's so loud.
That's the scariest fucking thing I can think of.
Yeah, you can't hear like anything, so it's already super spooky.
Imagine if you had a house and you just open your window, it's just screams coming in. Just shut your window, it's just like a little too loud today.
little too loud
windy
today.
out there.
No. I'm saying if you are next to somebody breathing, it's going to sound very loud because there's no outside sounds. Ooh. So kind of the inverse of that.
Okay, never mind. I misheard that. I thought you meant wind was like going through the holes and coming out as screams.
The way you understood. Yeah, no, the way you heard it is kind of what I said, but I'm trying to redact it for clarity's sake. So on top of the fact that there's barely any sound, the trees are so dense that it's just dark like all the time.
This is like there's a fucking like what's the one from Lord of the Rings? The really scary forest that's like poisoned. Is it Mirkwood?
Mirkwood sounds right, but I don't know if it's the right forest.
Yeah.
I know Mirkwood exists.
Mirkwood gets poisoned by Sauron, and it's like wicked dark and quiet because there's no birds. So it sounds like that.
Dude, that's next episode. Come on. We're just going to take a fictional...
We're going to get really into Tolkien. Stephen Colbert is going to come fucking knocking.
So...
Sorry, I've been like interjecting a lot. Probably fucking you up big time.
No, this is good. This is that good 10. So this is the location of the most suicide like per year is in Aokigahara.
Worldwide, or
it's estimated that about 100 to 115 people take their life in the suicide forest every year.
Oh my God.
Which is a lot for one specific location.
It's so much.
So
what I bet the Golden Gate Bridge is up there.
Yeah, that's the second.
Yeah.
It's between Aokigahara and the Golden Gate Bridge. So USA.
USA.
We rule.
If we're not first, we're second, baby.
So Aokigahara, I'm reading from allthat'sinteresting.com.
Great site.
They have an article about...
I fucking love All That's Interesting.
Site. They really have a lot of good macabre articles. Aokigahara has always been dogged with morbid myths. The oldest is unconfirmed stories of the ancient Japanese custom called ubasute. Now, I was like, let me do some looking up on that.
Oh, you get digging, dude?
I dug.
You get digging? Get those dirty digging dangles, boys?
Dangle boys? So, ubasute is an ancient Japanese legend of abandoning elderly women in the woods.
That's a tradition? What the fuck?
Yeah, it literally translates to, quote, abandoning an old woman.
That's like how... I
thought was really funny.
That's horrifying. That's like how Irish people used to just, like, if your kid yelled too much, you just assumed it was a fairy that, like, took the form and just left it in the woods.
A changeling?
Yeah. Like, fuck that, dude. Talk about, like, getting out of a situation, just being like, no, it's a fucking changeling, dude.
Fuck that, dude.
Imagine just ending a relationship like, I have suspicion that you're a changeling and this is not going to work.
And I think we're going to have to leave you in the woods.
No, but yeah, leaving old ladies is apparently a tradition.
It's like a half... Okay, so it's people... It's one of those things where it's like, is it real? Is it not? There's some direct, like, writing and referencing to it, but nobody knows 100% for sure if this was a real thing. But
I hate that you use the word tradition so much. It's like St. Patrick's Day, I get wasted. In Japan, it's like, dude, you going to the old lady drop-off tonight?
Yo, grab Grammy.
Dude.
Let's go.
I'm probably going to bring my friend's Grammy. I brought my Grammy last year.
The practice's prevalence directly corresponds with the macro-level conditions in a given area, where years of drought and famine would cast a specter of malaise among Japanese families, whether the result of exceptionally light or heavy rains, crop-eating insects, or agriculturally devastating volcanic eruptions, such as that of Mount Asama in 1783. It wasn't entirely uncommon for agricultural production to come to a halt, leading to an insufferable periods of drought and famine and obviously no food. Now, when you have low food and many mouths to feed, sometimes you resort to extreme measures in order to survive. And according to legend, that's exactly what the Japanese happened to do. Again, it's undetermined if it's legend or real, but I literally saw Ubisute like everywhere. Everywhere I looked this up, everyone's like, yeah, Ubisute. So that's Ubisute, right? And legend has it is that now these forests are haunted by the old spirits of all of the people who were left behind in the forest during times of famine in early Japan. And they're called Yuri, which is like Japanese ghosts.
Dude, shout out to Yuri. Fucking DLL pass.
Yeah.
Fuck Murderwind, dude.
So they're presumed to be the vengeful spirits of the old who were abandoned. However, the forest goes from being a place of great haunting to a very real place of very depressing mass suicide around the 60s and 70s because many believe a book is to blame for the resurgence in the forest's popularity. In 1960, Saicho Matsumoto published his famous novel Kuroi Jukai, often translated as The Black Sea of Trees, in which the story's lovers commit suicide in the Aokigahara Forest.
So he
Aokigahara.
Is it just trendy then? The way you worded that, it's like
I don't know. It's
people are going to do it anyway. They might as well do it there.
I think it's one of those things where it's like this book came out. It's like 13 Reasons Why causing a spike in like suicide.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because I think the show was designed to have the opposite effect.
Yeah, right. The opposite effect. Yes. But like people were like, oh shoot, if I was feeling this way, I was like, I'll go into the forest and be like this book. Very depressing.
Also, we should clarify, we don't think suicide's trendy. It's just...
Yeah, we do not condone... Yeah,
when we use the word trendy, we don't mean in the way that like something the Kardashians wear is trendy. We mean in that...
Not like flossing.
An actual fact, like statistic trend of...
Like trending. Yeah. Yes, we are using the statistical phrasing of trend.
Yeah.
So... Okay, yeah. So since this book kind of comes out and that starts this increase in suicides in the forest, small armies of police, volunteers, and journalists will scour the area in search of bodies annually. And they've almost never left empty-handed because it is such a common place to do it. The body count has significantly increased in recent years, reaching a peak in 2004 when 108 bodies in varying states of decay were recovered from the forest.
Oh.
And that only accounts for the bodies searchers managed to find.
So it's going up.
The forest, yeah, it's going up. And also the forest has like a bunch of different like caves and things that people could either like fall into and just have an accidental death or, there's a lot of ways for bodies not to get found. So the number might be higher than that.
Yeah, it definitely would be. I would assume it's a big forest. I am thinking in my head,
it's 13 miles. It's 13 miles of forest, so it's like a pretty large swath of area.
And you don't know like how bodies get ripped apart by animals and shit after the fact.
That's true. Well, that's actually another thing is that when these searchers go out to find like bodies, they also a lot of times will just come across like just like an arm left dangling or something. Like it's pretty grisly. So Aokigahara sees more suicides than any other location in the world. The only exception is the Golden Gate Bridge, and the forest has become the final resting place for so many that authorities placed signs saying things like "Please reconsider" and "Think about your family," things like that at the entrance to the forest.
Oh, I see those at bridges sometimes, and it's really sad.
Real dark. And then patrols regularly scout the area, hoping to gently redirect visitors who look like they might not be planning a return journey. In 2010, 247 people attempted suicide in the forest.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Does Japan have I don't know if you came across this, does Japan have a big mental health issue?
Yes, they do. There is it has a pretty high suicide
crisis
rate among just on an average scale. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
something about the culture. I don't know if it's like,
who knows?
I'm not going to just make generality. Like, I don't want to assume things.
And who knows how like modern shit, social media and like cyberbullying and all that crap contributes.
Translates to their culture and norms and what have you. But that is this
is a fairly new issue. In my head, this was like the suicide forest was like an ancient thing.
No. This is something this is more of a modern day problem.
Because I'm also like a dumb American, so I went back to the like the tradition of committing suicide in like feudal Japan.
Yeah, well, no, so like seppuku.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a spider that just came down.
That's on brand, baby.
Come on, bro.
It's October.
This guy knew.
Should I do something like, oh, there's a bat above me?
All right, sorry.
Dude, my jack-o'-lantern literally just started pouring liquid all over my apartment, and I'm not about it. I carved it way too early.
Your beautiful Jackie-O.
My gorgeous floating Jackie-O just started leaking Jackie-O flu all over.
That's a big yikes.
It stinks. So it's gone. I'll have to get another one.
So, like I said, like over 200 people attempted suicide in the forest in 2010. A common practice amongst those who are going into the forest is if you bring a tent with you, it often means you are contemplating suicide but have not decided.
Right.
So often people will come across campsites where people will like be hanging out for a couple of days as they make a decision. And so people are always on the lookout for tents and campsites so that they can attempt to, tell the people to leave the forest and continue living.
I'd be interested to hear like from people like how being in a completely silent, like dark forest affects their decision. If like,
I'm sure it does not help.
Either that or it like is complete clarity.
I mean, I feel like it's such a terror. Like it just sounds like it sounds like you're in a deprivation tank, a sensory deprivation tank.
It sounds like a purgatory from like a sci-fi movie. What it would be.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a happy joy place in my head. In addition to the tents, people will also the forest is so thick. And it's called the Sea of Trees for a reason because it's so thick.
How thick is it?
Will bring tape and ribbon that they will like loop around trees and bring into the brush with them so that they can track their way back out of the forest if they decide to change their mind.
Dude, this place is literally Mirkwood from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So if you walk in there, you're going to see like a bunch of ribbons that just lead out into like different directions, which are just people who have gone in before you contemplating suicide, which is like a horrifying
That's super
thought.
Chilling. I don't like that.
Yeah. And then what's even more creepy, I mean, it's a natural phenomenon, but the location is like so, it's like just the icing on the macabre cake, if you will, is that the area is rich with magnetic iron, so GPS systems and compasses don't work there.
That's fucked. That is absolutely fucked.
Like so insane.
This is the kind of place that like I want to go for the natural part of it. I feel like the quiet and the dark, like that many trees is really cool, and it's at the base of Mount Fuji, which is like a beautiful scenery. Yes. But I'd go in, I'd see a thing with tape, and I'd be like, nope, this is
And I should say that it's
taking
not
me to a bad place.
It's not only people going in to commit suicide. There are people like tourists who go in and people who want to get nice pictures, like you said, of Mount Fuji and the forest.
Is it like a national park?
I believe so. I mean, I don't know like what their national park-esque structure is, but it is a like land that is monitored by the government. So I guess it would be a national park.
So I'm super for conservation in public lands, but if there was ever a forest to bulldoze to put up something, this is the one to bulldoze. Just so many people just probably would be alive if this was a Walmart. Or whatever the Japanese equivalent of a superstore is.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not going to take a guess.
Of what, a Japanese superstore?
Yeah.
No, it's probably.
There's no way I get out of that.
Probably a name we wouldn't know.
Nope. But yeah, there's also so there's a lot of people like who want to take pictures of the lava plateaus, but there's also the Narusawa Ice Cave is there. So you got lava, you got ice, you got death, you got all.
This place isn't
you're
real.
Like 2 colors away from being Magic the Gathering. I'm pretty sure.
It's running a black blue green deck.
It's running a red black deck for sure. So then finally, the forest kind of resurfaced in popularity back in 2018 when old Logan Paul, our good friend.
Oh, fuck this. This is where this happened?
Yeah, you didn't know that? This was the suicide forest where he found the body. Yeah.
We're going to run into... Remembers... There might be a bunch of 16-year-olds who are fucking pissed at us for saying that, but fuck this guy.
Yeah, so Logan Paul kind of brought it back into the limelight or into the popular culture back in 2018 when he was filming in the forest, found a body, and then filmed the body.
Did he take like a selfie with it or some bullshit?
He was just filming it and was laughing on camera about finding this body. And then he apologized, saying that he, quote, intended to raise awareness for suicide and suicide prevention. And it's like, dude, you're...
Yeah. Again, you might be a 16-year-old that's pissed at it, or like a 12-year-old who's pissed at us right now, but
not cool.
Basic human decency, fuck that guy. Granted, we also joke about like pretty macabre shit, but when you're there...
we bring Droopy Dog involved in people's experiences all the time.
Granted, when you're there in person, it's a fucking... Like, how can you even... What kind of sociopath is like completely shook by that?
Yeah, I would...
I'd probably just throw up immediately.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Death
throw up ski.
Hashtag death throw up ski. So that is, I mean, that's like the overview of the Aokigahara Suicide Forest. If you guys want to see it, go to Japan. Go to Mount Fuji. It's there. It's a real place you can go, and it sounds like a fictional fantasy death
Please
world.
be super careful and super respectful, because it sounds wicked fucking... I don't even know the word, like hallowing. I don't know. Like there's some kind of word out there that's specific for this kind of thing, and I don't know what it is.
I feel like harrowing is probably what you're saying.
That's definitely what I meant to say.
That's not Halloween.
Halloween
coming up.
Maybe.
So that's the Aokigahara Forest, everybody. If you're a Patreon member, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for next Monday. We have another video coming out to you guys.
Speaking of me, almost throw up skis.
Speaking of Scones almost throwing up, we played some horror VR games, and Scones had a bad time.
Real bad time.
So...
It was a good time until it wasn't.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Also, VR
keep your eyes peeled for that. That was also his first VR experience. I own the Oculus Rift, so I've had a little bit of experience with it, but he had never used VR before, so he threw him right into a horror game.
And I almost threw up out of just pure fight or flight response.
It was a lot of fun, so keep your eyes peeled on that. And make sure to follow us on our socials, Instagram, Monday Morning Macabre, Twitter, Macabre Pod. Check out mondaymorningmacabre.com for all of your merch needs, your episodes. If you want to do anything you need to find, it's there. Patreon, if you want to find how to get there, it's all there. It's all on the website.
It's all there. Just go check it out.
Okay, it's just
check
all
it out.
up
Darce,
there.
what's our Twitter?
It's Macabre Pod.
Nice. Glad you remembered.
It's Macabre Pod. You ain't gonna catch me slipping. And we hope you have a wonderful, beautiful Monday.
Yeah, thanks for listening. This is Johnny Kahula and Chili Dog Johnson.
Chili Dog Johnson
signing off.
Saying once again, breeze up, slow down, chili dogs in both mouths.
Hope you liked our show tonight or this morning. Big shout out to the band.
Shout out to the band, and have a good
Monday. A good Monday. Practice safe mental health.
Bye. Bye.